As you see it here today with things like the off-road package, the air conditioner, a few other things that add some weight to it. She comes in 3,480 pounds. This is the new 20 BHS Geo Pro here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And I can't count the number of times I had people say that 19 BHS, if they just made the dinette slide out, well, it would be perfect. Well, they did it. But here's the thing, I think this is going to kind of be a test at the Rockwood facility. They always targeted their Geo Pros to be 20 feet or 3,000 pounds before options. And this breaks both of those rules. So I think what they're trying to say here is, okay, you keep saying you want more, you want bigger, you want better, but that weighs a little bit more and it costs a little bit more. If you're going to still be willing to buy it, we'll continue to push the boundaries and make a little bit bigger Geo Pro. So I'm really curious to see how this one pans out. I think it's going to be a success. It's a no-brainer floor plan that you're going to love. Now, whenever we have a little trailer, you know, probably used for towing and going, we want to see, hey, with the slide closed, what can we get to? Well, the good news in this 20 BHS Geo Pro here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, the answer is absolutely everything. There's not a single thing you lose out on. In fact, with the slide closed, really, it functions almost identically to the 19BH Geo Pro. It's just when you open that slide up that you realize that you get that awesome space you're really going to appreciate on a rainy day. Of course, that slide out helps this thing look and feel bigger, but the lighter, brighter decor, as well as this 5-inch double vaulted roof system that they have here, it also helps open it right up, and it just draws your eyes up, and you don't feel all encased in here. And here's a good example of how well that works. You see these knobs hanging down off the air conditioner. I'm 6'2", 6'3"-ish, something like that, depending on how much I'm slouching on a given day, and I can, you know, fit right under those things without my head getting clipped by those buttons. So it's very, you know, daytime friendly for taller folks. Now, really, other than the slide out, this is pretty much just a carbon copy of the 19BH Geo Pro. And in case you're wondering what that white noise is you might be hearing, it's raining like a son of a gun. And naturally, I left an umbrella inside, so I'm going to have myself a wet walk back to the dealership after this. Up front here, up on the headboard, one of the things that I like they did here is they included the pop-up power tower, so that if you want to, you have a good place for charging phones or even potentially running a CPAP machine. Now, something you could theoretically do is you could remove that box right there, and you could put a longer, like normal 80-inch queen bed in there if you were so inclined. Obviously, that front windshield gives us awesome viewing, better when it's a sunny day than a rainy day here at Haylett RV, but you get the idea. And there's also a privacy shade you can pull down over that. Now, a lot of brands who build a floor plan like this will have the entertainment center in the exact same place that this one has. But they usually just say, TV bracket can mount here. Not a Geo Pro. It's one of the reasons they're a couple bucks more. They do things a little bit more involved here. So first of all, they're including a TV. Secondly, it's a 12-volt TV, so it's off-grid friendly. Third, it actually has its own built-in integrated DVD player. Plus, they still have the Bluetooth stereo with HDMI expansion ports that pretty much everybody else has. Then you see the switch right here. That is to activate the Wi-Fi Ranger, which we'll look at on the roof. It's basically this RV has its own built-in router, is the simplest way I can describe it. From there, I'm going to kind of reset back to position 1 so we can really catch all of the storage in one sweep. You see how there is drawers for the storage under this dinette side? Well, pardon me, a drawer. Over here, you might notice how there's no pull handle. You may also notice how there's like a hinge on both sides. That's something Rockwood does for an easy access point to things like a water heater or water pump at times. But they make it so that, say, little kids can't accidentally get into it and play with valves and muck things up, which is literally what I did to my grandparents' camper when I was just knee-high to a grasshopper. So the dining drawer, always handy for generic stuff, but that plus the drawer under the bed, it kind of gives it like a neat little dresser storage space. And in case you're a little bit curious, that little gray box looking at us right there, that is the switch to activate the inverter. The household outlets in this RV are all inverter wired, meaning if you are off-grid, you do not have park power or a generator available, you can still use your household outlets to run things like CPAP machines or coffee makers or anything like that. You will tax the batteries doing it, but that's kind of the idea behind the solar package, is to be able to replenish those batteries during the day if need be. The TV and the air conditioner and the microwave, those three things will not work off that inverter. That just requires a different level of power. But remember, the TV's 12 volt anyway, so no big deal. Now, you can option this with a gas oven here in the kitchen, but you lose all of that storage. That's like the bulk of your kitchen storage in the main kitchen area. It's got a nice pantry beside us. We'll see that in a second, but man, that just feels too valuable to give up, especially when you're probably going to do a lot of your cooking outside with that beautiful griddle that's included with the camper. That felt like the storage was going to be the better choice for more people. Stainless sink, just nice little Rockwood doing Rockwood things, and that big recessed stovetop. It gives us some prep space that this camper otherwise desperately needs. Now over here, a question that I get all the time on these GeoPros is, can I get this built with a 2-door 6 cubic foot fridge and no microwave? And the answer is no, they just don't offer it. I have asked multiple times. At this time, it is just simply not available. That, by the way, is your charge controller and monitor for your battery and solar system. That is a 5 cubic foot fridge freezer, so it's nearly the size of a 2-door fridge freezer. It just has a freezer built into it instead of a freezer that's separate. And that's the thing I don't think a lot of people realize. The refrigerator is the same size. It's only the freezer portion that changes. Now, over here, this is something they did very well. This is, I mean, a super similar layout to something like a 19 BHS Apex that we have here at Haylett RV. Difference here is Apex will actually bring the bathroom door forward to enclose this right here, and this can be pantry space or it can be closet space, whereas Rockwood leaves it out here in the kitchen. So it's just kind of one of those 6 to 1, half a dozen to another sort of things where everybody has their own way of doing it that they feel is the best way. And of course you have that cargo bunk space right there. But one of the other things I want to do is back up here for just a second and take a look at these windows. They have pull down like roller night shades, blackout shades on them, and obviously that dinette can fold down. Another cool note on that dinette is that it also has a 4 adult seating capacity versus just a 2 adult seating space of a non-slide version of this floor plan. And you can also see how they include that handy upper bunk ladder, which is something that a lot of brands just don't do. And that's, again, just one of those nice Rockwood touches where they do things a little bit more involved than most brands. And real quick here, just a nice look at the kitchen without it all opened up all over the place. Little pop bottle opener, by the way. We're here in the Michigan, we say pop, not soda, not Coke. You say whatever you want where you're from. I don't care. It's all the same thing. We're all drinking the same poison. It's delicious though, isn't it? Delicious poison. My favorite is I spent a little bit of time living in a place called Americus, Georgia. And I heard Pepsi Cola referred to as Yankee Devil Poison, and that makes me laugh to this day. That's a funny name. If there's any viewers from down south who can confirm that for me, that it's still called that today, I would love to know, because that was one of my favorite takeaways from my time down there. Notice too, little detail, separate curtains for the upper and lower bunks. Just nice little things like that. Now in here in the bathroom, they had a limited space to work with, and they crammed a lot into it without it looking cluttered. Like the mirror helps it look and feel bigger. I like that linen space right there as well. Nice place to keep some towels in. And Rockwood does these handy little shelves all over the place, and even here, they're useful. It's nice to have a place to be able to set a couple things, you know, like some body wash or whatever. A foot flush toilet with plenty of legroom. And this has the little freshwater saver system that first debuted on the GeoPros and later became available everywhere else. In between little break points, I had to swap batteries, so I was fortunate enough to go get a umbrella. Unfortunately, it quit raining when I came back with my umbrella, so it really served no purpose. But, you know, isn't that how things always work? If you have no umbrella, you get rained on. If you have an umbrella, it never rains. It's a miracle. Anyway, the shower surround back here, that's something not everybody in these single axles will do for you. And that handy little, bath soap caddy, it's quickly, easily removable, easily cleaned, you know. Just little details like that help so much. The skylight, and you see that larger vent fan up here. And that thing right there has it's the same vent fan you find on a Rockwood signature trailer or fifth wheel. It'll give you some superior whole house airflow, and it really helps overcome the potential deficiency of those frameless windows maybe getting a little less airflow. This will kind of just force the issue. And I am a big fan of these updated kind of linear graphics pattern that they've gone to here. But everything that makes it a GeoPro is all still here. They just added a slide, but it's amazing how transformative that feels. We've got that anti-slam door, and right on the door itself is a keyless entry door pad, which is super handy, so that if you want to go like biking or kayaking or hiking or whatever, and you don't want to risk losing your keys, that'll throw your deadbolt for you. Just punch in the key code. Larger entry handle, and those MORryde stable steps just make it for easy come and go, and especially on a shorter trailer like this, a lighter weight trailer that could easily be jostled as people go in and out, those MORryde stable steps do wonders. As we slip inside here through this magnet holdback baggage compartment, you see that you've got a just completely unobstructed aluminum frame full pass-through with nice big doors on both sides. And this RV has roof mount solar prep, but you see right there, you've also got side solar prep. So if you want to park it in the sun and let the roof solar do its job, you can. If you want to park it in the shade and then have a portable panel that you kind of move around your site, you can pick up one of those and do that too. I mean, you can do them both, actually. That's one of the neat things. These are easy to tow with their lighter weight, the smooth skin giving you less wind resistance. Also, the interestingly shaped narrow body, well, size rather, not shaped. It's a 7'4" body, which is really uncommon. Usually you get 7 or 7.5. And what they did here is they kind of found a thing that worked for them. That 7'4" body gave them a little bit of a benefit above and beyond a conventional 7-foot body without dinging the weight too hard. And one of the ways that they offset that wider body versus a 7-foot wide camper is with their heavy use of Azdel substrates in the construction of this RV. If you're not familiar with Azdel, it is a Luan substitute composite material. It is lighter in weight. The material itself cannot rot, mold, mildew. It's also a little bit sound dampening, which is kind of cool. Got the little docking light on the front there just to give you a little visual effect. We've added the power tongue jack to the front of this as well for, you know, all the easy lifting effect. You can see that our normal windows are going to be frameless. That is an automotive windshield on the front, though. It's a heavier grade of glass. But the frameless windows give you that slick look. You've got the slide side breeze windows, and to overcome the potential deficiency of less airflow on the frameless windows, remember you've got that max air fan inside. Now, all of our hookups are up here on this front corner. Normally that wouldn't be an ideal location, but frankly fifth wheels do it just fine. And this is a short floor plan. It's not like your normal power cable isn't going to reach to the back hookups of a campsite. The full outside utility shower is a nice touch too. One other thing that we like to apply to our GeoPros here at Haylett RV is that we will typically outfit these with the 12-volt heated or tank heating pads, so that you have that extra kind of, you know, I'm towing when it's cold, or it's going to cold snap when I get there kind of protection. That deadbolting cargo door right there, it gives you the ability to add a lot of big stuff. Like you got, you know, big grills or things like that. You've got little lawn games, you know, like the bag toss games for the kiddos or something like that, or the adults, I suppose. Just depends. You know, you've got a place to put all that stuff, but then it just converts into conventional bunk space at your destination. In typical Rockwood fashion, they've done it well. The bunk pivots up out of the way easily. It bullet locks in place. That's called a bullet latch, by the way. The official term of that, actually, I only recently learned the official name for that. I was always like, you know, one of those kind of slider peg thingies? That was my name for it. Anyway, moving on. My point is, it gives you an awesome spot for all that stuff without losing any sort of security. Now, in front of that tire, which is a nice high-profile tire because we have also outfitted this with the optional off-road package, you will find a sewer hose tube so that you have a place to keep your black tank stuff away from all your freshwater stuff. Now, we'll see it in more detail on the roof. You can barely see it peeking over the horizon of that roof there. This has the roof rack mount system. That changes the ladder that's on the back of a GeoPro. Normally, it is just a conventional, like, circular shaped tubular ladder. But when you get the roof rack package, you get this more heavy duty, but still very lightweight, like rectangular tubular aluminum kind of ladder. It's also removable, and the question there is, why is it those things? Well, first of all, it's a heavier, bulkier ladder because you might be carrying cargo up with you, so you know it needs to hold more weight. Secondly, it's removable so that when you're going down the road, if you have a backup camera on this, you can still utilize the backup camera, because you see otherwise it would be somewhat covered up. Not the biggest awning in the world, but the biggest awning they possibly could have put on this, with LED lighting and tilt and auto rain dump and all those things that you really expect. Also, they've adopted the same outside griddle instead of outside grill here on this Rockwood that you find on like the mini lights and all the other things. Actually, it's that consistency that I love out of Rockwood. Like, for instance, I don't know of another little trailer like this that has a factory included tire pressure monitoring system. The little valve stem cap on the end of that tire actually talks to a handheld color display that comes with the camper that you can use inside of your the cab of your vehicle, so when you're going down the road you can look in real time to see what your tires are doing, which is just cool. I mean, there's aftermarket solutions for that all over the place, but when you get something like that from the factory, you will never get it for less money than someone like Rockwood's buying power. As the largest volume laminated trailer producer out there, they can just buy things cheaper than about anybody else. Climbing up that new updated 300-pound rear ladder, which is what you get when you add the ProRack roof mount system here. I like that heavier ladder because, I mean, the idea behind it is these always have a walkable roof. These always have a rear roof ladder. But if you're going to be carrying cargo up with you, like bikes or a kayak or something, you're going to want something with a little more heft behind it. So they bulked the ladder up to go with it. Pretty smart. Now, this is an optional piece of equipment, this roof mount rack system here, and there are different like cleats you can put on it. There's these different add-ons, like you can make it suitable for bikes, you can make it suitable for kayaks, and those things are small, they're light, they're inexpensive. So what we do is we put the roof rack on so you can kind of make it fit whatever you want instead of sort of shoehorning you into one specific thing. Now, one thing I like to point out here, when you get the optional low profile air conditioner on this, it does not increase the overall exterior height of the camper because it won't be taller than something like the Max Air vent fan cover beside me or the TV antenna that you're sitting over there. That's why they use a low profile air conditioner. So the exterior height is the exterior height, whether you add the air or not. The standard 100-watt factory roof solar system right here, keeping our batteries topped off while we are off-grid. Obviously, you know, if you go absolutely bananas and leave all your lights and fans blazing every day, you could burn your batteries up, but you're going to have to work at it. And you see that big tall silver antenna is a classic old AM/FM radio antenna, and in front of that is our Wi-Fi Ranger, so that if basically the RV has a built-in router, so if you want to stay more easily connected to mobile data sources, you can. Now back here over that rear bathroom, we have that Max Air vent fan cover, and I just like to always give you a nice solid visual of that so that you can see it is factory installed. Those are not hard to add. You could add those aftermarket to all of these things. But isn't it nice that you don't have to? Isn't it nice that you're getting Rockwood's volume buying power on it, which will cost you less money? Isn't it nice that you're getting Rockwood's factory guarantee included on it now? There's a lot of reasons that we like Rockwood's. There's a lot of them. Like, just the consistency and the quality that comes out of the product is absolutely ace #1. But the fact that they've just been, you know, on top of their game and driving the lightweight industry for years is another. So, I mean, every RV is cool in different ways. Look, I mean, here's another Geo Pro just landed right beside us. But Rockwoods, especially these Geos, have truly kind of redefined the small camper segment and reshaped a lot of things. They've become just entire brands that are nothing but Geo Pro clones. So you have the choice. You can get the name brand or you can get the off brand. Would you like the original or the photocopy? And that's sort of the question at hand. And with that, I would just simply invite you folks to give our team here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan a call. It doesn't matter if you're looking for hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between. The only thing we don't do is hidden dealer fees. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.